Hello and good afternoon, viewers, to this special bulletin on Herald TV. I am Herald Gomes, and during this broadcast, we will bring to you grave issues surrounding the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary and its surrounding areas. Many of you are aware about the ongoing water sharing dispute with Karnataka, but our investigation here at Herald TV has revealed far much more than just the precious water, and this, my dear viewers, will definitely shock you. From trees being chopped in the forest to grow in low-yield commercial crops such as betel nut and cashew to illegal sand mining, Mhadei is being attacked left, right and center. Who is to be blamed? Well, we will definitely come to that. But before that, let's take a look at this exclusive investigation only on Herald TV. Let's have the AV please.
Lush jungle areas and much more. An in-depth investigation by Herald TV from multiple areas inside the Mhadei sanctuary and also the surrounding areas has revealed how trees are cleared to grow commercial plants such as cashew and areca nut. Not just that, sand is being mined from the riverbanks of the sanctuary without any permission too. Heaps and heaps of sand, both in large and small quantities, are found along the riverbanks, all sifted and ready to be sold to the highest bidder at a premium minus any regulation.
One of the key important problems that the Mhadei faces today is the cutting down of the vegetation within the wildlife sanctuary, and then you have trees such as cashew nuts as well as betel nuts that are grown in its place. This is definitely not allowed, but you have several people who do so. Towards my right is in fact a plantation where you have betel nuts that have been planted. There were earlier very important trees that are part of the ecosystem of the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, but all of that has been now chopped. A few meters behind me, there as you see are multiple honeycombs where you have honeybees, which are an important indicator as far as the environment is concerned. And just as you see, as trees are continuing to be cut, it is definitely an imminent danger to these honeybees. There you see trees that have been burnt. This took place some time ago. Now I've been speaking to some of the villagers. Although they are not ready to come on camera, what they have been telling us is that yes, there are certain elements or certain other villagers who burn these trees regularly, and after that the modus operandi works as such. What they do is during the monsoons they will chop these trees. The logs are then thrown into this water, into one of the tributaries of the Mhadei, which then makes its way along the rough streams. After that, you have trees such as the cashew nut trees, which are then brought in and planted at various places here for their commercial value. All of this is being done without any permission or without any monitoring systems. So at the end of the day, the key question being asked is that who all are part of this entire racket?
Fresh tire marks of trucks and other four-wheelers reveal another sign of abuse and exploitation, illegal sand mining. In the absence of monitoring systems and the almost invisible presence of forest guards, Mhadei is being looted and plundered.
This is one of the streams that runs through the Mhadei sanctuary, and as you can see here behind me, there are fresh tracks of, in fact, vehicles that have gone, which are believed to be engaged in the illegal trade of the sand. These, in fact, are fresh track marks that you can see that have been throughout this entire sort of area. There are footprints of these tracks that have been going on, and clearly no action being taken at the highest level.
As a team traveled across various areas, it was found that heaps of sand was illegally excavated and stored at various areas.
We have shown you multiple areas from inside the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary where the sand is being mined illegally. But this is the biggest area by and far that we have noticed. You can see there behind me. This is where in fact the sand was dug up. You can see it's become like a sort of a pit. And from there you have the sand that is being brought and then dumped here towards my left hand side. You can see this entire mound of sand that is lying here, which is when it is then transported illegally. Now this has been going on for quite some time is what we are given to understand, and clearly the authorities have turned a blind eye. This entire heap of sand you will notice at different sort of areas inside the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary and has been going on for quite some time.
Another major problem facing the territory of the river Mhadei is forest guards are not being allowed to enter some forest areas as villagers have put up boards banning their entry. Also, environmentalists believe that gelatin sticks allegedly used for illegal fishing has led to a depletion of various fish species in the mighty river and its surrounding tributaries.
The Mhadei issue is not just about humans versus wildlife or the trees. It is much beyond. Sometimes it is also about humans versus humans. Here you can see this board behind me which says that there is no entry for the forest department, clearly hitting out at the forest guards as well as other officials, denying them any sort of entry into this village. Now this is an illegal board, but what we are picking up from the locals here, what they've been saying is that they've been staying here for many years and would not want the forest department to allow. As such, when you have boards that have been put up by the locals themselves, which is in a way banning the entry of forest officials, one can understand what much more might be taking place within the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary without any monitoring systems from the forest department. Clear water and almost zero presence of fish, although in some pockets one might see fish in smaller quantities. One of the reasons that the locals tell us is that in the past and sometimes even recently that there are gelatin sticks that are used for fishing, and that has led to a depletion in the number of fish across the various tributaries of the river Mhadei.
When Herald TV contacted the mines department for their version of the story, they totally declined to comment.
We tried to speak to some of the top officials from the Directorate of Mines and Geology here in Panjim. All of them have flatly refused. When we did try to ask them if they have any sort of information about the illegal sand mining going on inside the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, there has been no confirmation coming in at all.
When the Forest Department of Goa was contacted by Herald TV, here is what top sources had to say. Better engagement is required with local stakeholders. One single forest guard has to monitor from 14 to up to 17 kilometers of stretch, that too in a difficult terrain. No proper monitoring facilities for forest guards, especially at night. Inadequate manpower. No proper ration, toilet, vehicle, as well as medical facilities for an already inadequate staff. Meanwhile, Goa's saviors of the ecosystem, such as Rajendra Kerkar and many others, have already taken cognizance of the murderous loot.
Without taking any permission from the Directorate of Mines and Geology or any other statutory clearances, sand mining activities are rampantly going on in various parts of the Saptari. Presently, the sting operation carried by the Herald, this is going on for more than 2 to 3 years. So this illegal activity of sand extraction is going on for the commercial purpose, and all this area comes inside the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. So when the sand is extracted in such places which are already ecological fragile, it will going to have effect on the ecology and environment of the area, but also on the river ecosystem. Presently, many of the river are losing their carrying capacity of the water, and the main reason for all this activity is illegal sand mining. If one person visit to Sunal at Movacha Guno, he can see how illegal sand mining is going on. So no action has been initiated by any authority in Goa to curb all this illegality. So all this illegal sand abstraction will going to cause a massive loss for the ecology, environment and wildlife of the area.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इल्लीगल सँड एक्सट्रॅक्शन जे आसा हें खरें म्हणल्यार अलावड ना. आणि काही दिसा पयलीं कॅप्टन ऑफ पोर्ट्सा कडेन आमी काही हें केल्लें की काही होडयो ज्यो आसात त्यो त्या आमोणा किंवा कोठंबी ह्या भागांत त्यो होडयो आमी पळयल्ल्यो आसा. आमचे कडेन व्हिडियोज आसा सँड एक्सट्रॅक्ट करता आसतना, सँड मायनींग करता आसतना. पण गव्हर्मेंट हाजेर काय एक्शन घेता, एक एकदां एक्शन घेना, एक एकदां एक्शन घेता. जेन्ना काही लोकांचो प्रेशर पडटा, काही लोक जेन्ना तांच्या विरोधान जेन्ना उलयतात किंवा गव्हर्मेंटाक लक्षान हाडून दिता त्या वेळार तांचेर एक्शन घेतली वता. हाजोच एक म्हाका दिसता भाग म्हणून किंवा लिपून छुपून काही गजाली करपा खातीर आज ते म्हादयच्या खोरान पावल्या. म्हणजे म्हादयचो कितल्या प्रमाणात म्हादयचेर अत्याचार चालू आसा. एक म्हणल्यार कर्नाटका त्या बाजूक म्हादय डायवर्ट करपाच्या बाबतींत थंयचे जे लोकल हे आसात ते डायवर्ट करपाच्या बाबतींत आसात. गोंयांत तसो सरकाराचो त्या बाबतींत म्हादय वांटोवपा खातीर प्रयत्न कितपत चल्ल्या ते आज आमी सगळे जाणा. आमी गव्हर्मेंटाक प्रत्येक बाबतींत एक्सपोजूय केल्ले आसा. अशें आसतना ह्या हातून जेन्ना म्हादय वायल्ड लायफ सँच्युरीन जेन्ना अशी सँड एक्सट्रॅक्शन आमी पळयता, सँड मायनींग चालू जें आसा इलिगली, हे म्हाका दिसता स्टॉप जावपाची गरज आसा. कारण थंयची बायोडायवर्सिटी जी आसा किंवा म्हादयची पात्र जे आसा ते जर हे खोडून काडपा लागले आनी सँड एक्सट्रॅक्ट करपा लागले जाल्यार आमकां जे पावसान उदक येता, जे आमकां उदक सकयल पर्यंत येता, आफ्टर ते येवपाची सुद्दां बंद जावपाची शक्यता आसा.
इलिगल सँड मायनींग आमी जायते कडेन पळयलां आनी चड प्रमाणान पळयलां तें म्हादय नदी भितर सावयवेऱ्यां. आनी ते इतले थंय रेंव काडटा, थंय करता, थंय ते पोखून उडयला. आनी ते जे आतां खुबे, तिसऱ्यो, शिणाण्यो हाजो प्रमाण जे पयलीं खूब आसतालें गोंयांत आनी सारके सामान्य मनशाक ते एवेलेबल आसताले. आतां फक्त 5 स्टार हॉटेलांनी वता. तें ताजें डिप्लिशन जाल्लें आसा, ताजेर डायरेक्ट इम्पॅक्ट जाल्लो आसा. सो सगळे कडेन अफेक्ट इवन आतां म्हादयचेर हाजेर मेजर प्रॉब्लेम. इनफॅक्ट आय थिंक इट इज इवन इम्पॅक्टींग द सॅलिनिटी आनी फ्रेश वॉटर. सो हे सगळे कडेन जाल्लें आसा. बट नो एक्शन हॅज बीन टेकन बाय द गव्हर्मेंट. आनी इलिगल सँड मायनींग इज गोईंग, सँड रॉबरी इज गोईंग ऑन फॉर मेनी इयर्स. So it is in all parts of Goa.
As our mother is ravaged from all sides, where does the buck lie? And more importantly, where is the ultimate solution?
From trees being chopped to illegal sand mining to forest department guards not being allowed in certain areas according to the locals by the boards that they've posted, to even gelatin sticks that are used for fishing. Multiple problems abound the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. Probably if only these huge canopies of trees could speak, one would have definite answers. But as we bring out to you this bit by bit pieces as well as the issues that plague the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, we hope that the government will wake up and find the definite solutions. In Valpoit, this is Herman Gomes for Herald TV. Well, as you have seen, dear viewers, clearly there is a lot that should worry us, especially us Goans. While yes, the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, as of now, as we have seen in various sort of images or various sort of programs, as well as protests that are being held across the length and breadth of Goa, there's a lot of concern. But these are several other irregularities. But as one of the most responsible and trusted media house, Herald has always believed in showing you the other side of the story. And yes, we did approach along with the team here at Herald TV, the several authorities from the Forest Department as well as the Mines Department, and here is what they had to say.
No proper monitoring facilities for forest guards, especially at night. Inadequate manpower. No proper ration, toilet, vehicle, as well as medical facilities for an already inadequate staff.
Right now, I'm also joined by my colleague Clinton in the newsroom. He too has been part of the investigation. Clinton, you have seen, the sort of investigation we've carried out, and it's not just limited to the water, but it also has to do with with the illegal sand mining, as well as trees being chopped for low-yielding crops to be grown. Clinton, what are your first thoughts, when you see this? Because you've also been hearing different voices from various activists.
Well, in my opinion, if you ask me what are my thoughts, this is completely, I would say, injustice that is being done to the environment. It's completely damaging the environment, and it's complete violation. So in this case, now only question is who is responsible, and what are the authorities going to do with such kind of destruction and damage to the environment and to the ecosystem. So in that way, Team Herald also, Herman, we spoke to renowned activist Norma Alvarez, who has been fighting against the illegal sand mining and various other causes. Let's see to what she has to say.
We've shown you pictures of illegal sand mining. Besides that, we've also seen how trees within the sanctuary are being chopped and then either being burnt so that commercial low-yielding crops can be grown. What's your first reaction? Are you honestly surprised by this, or for how long has this been going on?
To be honest, I am not surprised that illegal sand mining is going on. But what I am shocked at is that it is going on, as you say, continuously within the Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary. There is a petition which has been filed by the Goa River Sand Protectors Network, which has been in the High Court for the past 2 years now, and where the court passed a series of directions enjoining upon several authorities, that is the Captain of Ports, the Department of Mines, the Government of Goa, the Chief Secretary, police and so on, all to curb illegal sand mining, because for the last, since 2018, there has been no permits for sand mining at all in the state of Goa. So how is that there are boats still dredging sand out from the rivers? And in April, the court was really frustrated with the lack of cooperation, as it saw it, from the two topmost officials of Goa government. One is the Chief Secretary and one is the Director General of Police, and asked them to file detailed affidavits pointing out that they seem to be simply ignoring the court orders and are not concerned about the illegal sand mining. Goa Coastal Zone Management Authority filed a report which was produced in the petition showing collapse of river banks along the river Mandavi in a whole stretch. Well, as you might recall, there was a shooting incident where apparently the sand miners were fighting with each other, one person dead as a consequence. So somehow or the other, the state is not interested in properly bringing to a halt the illegal sand mining, although it has lessened, I would say, considerably from the rampant way it was continued about 2 years ago. But that it happens in Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary, when the whole state is so concerned about the Mhadei issue. Mhadei is our mother, Mhadei is what we depend on. Surely the Mhadei Sanctuary should have been sacrosanct as far as dredging from the this river also is concerned. To that extent, I am shocked. I did visit the area around the Mhadei Sanctuary some time ago, and I saw some heaps of sand. But the photographs that you are producing of illegal sand mining in several parts of Mhadei Wildlife Sanctuary is quite something that the government should take note of and see that it stops here. We can't on the one hand say that we want Mhadei and we are opposed to diversion, and on the other hand we ourselves allow the degradation of the wildlife sanctuary through which the Mhadei river flows. This is quite terrible.
Besides this
Well, as you have seen through our investigative reports here at Mhadei, it is not just limited to the waters, but also illegal trees being chopped. Besides that, illegal sand mining taking place not just in certain areas, but across the length and breadth. And that has several reasons to worry. Besides that, this is no longer conflict that is to be seen between humans and wildlife, but also humans versus humans, when you have boards that have been put up restricting the entry of Forest Department officials within the wildlife sanctuary. All of this and much more will continue on a brand new show known as Ground Zero, which will be airing every afternoon at 2:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays on Herald TV. Besides that, you can also follow us on our social media handles. Until then, it's a sign off from me and my team here at Herald TV. Be safe as always.